Hello and welcome. So excited to have you here for Module 1, Messaging and Marketing. It's so incredibly important to get our messaging and marketing right. And the reason we start off with this module in Thrive is because we know that from experience over the last couple of years, people have had big aha moments when it comes to the messaging and marketing in their business. And when they've been working their way through this reflective process and then implementing new things, they've had moments where they're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't know this before. So that creates momentum, and hopefully you're going to get the same thing out of today. I encourage you to start by reflecting on the current marketing that you have out there in the marketplace. Is it marketing that is talking about you and your business and how fabulous you are and what products you have? Or is it marketing that is talking about your customer and the customer's problem that you are solving for them? Because I tell you what, today is going to be a lot about solving the customer's problem. And if you are just talking about yourself in all of your marketing and messaging, then it's not going to really resonate with your ideal customer. You want to make sure that what you are doing is going to resonate with them. And so you want to make sure that wherever possible, you're not talking about yourself, but you're talking instead about your customers. So have a bit of a scroll through now and have a look at what is there. And I encourage you, if there is just a lot of talk about you, then hopefully today we can shift that mindset a little bit. And the way we're going to do that is through the Story Brand framework. And if you haven't heard about Story Brand before, I encourage you to absolutely dive into Story Brand and Donald Miller. The work itself is fabulous. It gives you a really clear understanding of how to communicate the problem that you're solving for your customer really clearly to them. That gives them, the clearest possible direction for where they're going and how they're going to get in touch with you. So you need to start by thinking about who your target market is. And if you haven't done this task already, I encourage you to pause the video and absolutely go and dive into that. You really want to understand clearly who your target market is and who you're serving. So many of us like to think about our customers, like our target market, like we would love everybody to be able to buy our products. We'd like everybody to be able to come to our business and purchase something. But when we market like that for everybody, we end up being nothing to nobody because nobody resonates with what we're saying. So get really clear about your target market. You then want to be able to identify the problem that you're solving for them and really position yourself as the guide that's able to understand what their problems are and to really have the power and authority to make it better. Then you want to create a really clear plan for how they're going to move forward and make it really simple and easy. And then you want to be able to paint a beautiful picture of what success looks like, what it will look like if they purchase your product or service, what it will look like on the other side, how great they will feel and why. And also be able to point them to, the picture of what will happen if they don't purchase from you and if they continue going on the same hamster wheel that they're on now. You want to be able to make it really clear that if they purchase from you and go down this customer journey route, that they're going to have a great transformational experience, and you want to make that really clear what it is. So let's start working through the Story Brand framework, and we're going to do this together. I want to talk you through each of the different segments so that you can have a clear understanding as to how to adapt that for your business itself. So you want to start by identifying the character. You want to really clearly understand who your character is and what they want. And from there, you want to be able to really dive into exactly who they are, perhaps where they live, how old they are, what things that they like, what do they not like, what keeps them awake at night, what are the things that they're tossing and turning at 4 a.m. about, what are the problems that they have, and how can you as a business solve those? When we're thinking about the problems, we don't just want to think about the external problem, we also want to think about the internal and philosophical problems as well. And Dr. JJ Peterson, who coaches often on Story Brand and was one of the coaches as part of my certification in Story Brand, he talks a lot about, he uses this analogy to explain the external, internal, and philosophical problems of the customer. And let's say the example that he uses is about somebody mowing your lawn. And if you are thinking about, somebody who's going to mow your lawn, you can either put, if you're a lawnmower, if you're the lawnmower guy, you can either put marketing out into the world that just says, hey, I'll mow your lawn for $50. Or you can get really clear on the problem that you're actually solving for your target customer, which is a whole lot more complicated than actually just getting the lawn cut. So the external problem is just that. I need someone to mow my lawn. But the internal problem, the step down from that, so not just the surface level, what needs to get done, but the surface level problem that we're thinking about is, look, if my grass is not mowed out the front, then when I get home from a busy week at work, I'm going to have to be the one that, has to spend time mowing it. And that means I'm going to have time away from my family. And I don't want to be doing that. I just want to be relaxing with my family. I want to be spending time with my kids and forming relationship with them. I don't want to have to waste time out the front mowing the lawn. So that's the internal problem. The philosophical problem that you can speak to really understand your customer is the one that kind of sits below that internal problem, that, hey, if my lawn isn't mowed, then my house looks a mess. And if my house looks a mess, then people know that I haven't got it together. And people are going to know that I'm just, like everything's a hot mess in my life. And it's going to be a visual representation of the way that I'm disorganized in my house and my life and my work and my business and my relationships and everything else. Not only that, if I'm spending all my time mowing the lawn, then I'm not going to get time to relax and rejuvenate from my big week at work. I'm not going to get important family time to spend with my kids, to build relationship with them. And if I don't build relationship with them, then what kind of kids are they going to turn into? What kind of dad am I going to be? Do you know what I mean? So that internal and philosophical problem is a whole lot deeper than just the external on the top. And if you are the lawnmower guy and you can find a way to really speak to those internal and philosophical problems, like, hey, I know the last thing you want to do after you've got home from a busy week of work is to, get outside in the hot, like in the heat, and mow the lawn. Instead, we know you want to spend time with your family. We know you want to build connection with your family. And when you're outside doing that, isolated, you're missing out on that quality family time. So that's the empathy side. That's the I understand side. That's the we get it side. And then you want to position that empathy with authority. You want to say, hey, I've been mowing lawns for 100 years and, I've taken that pressure off families from all over the local area. Let me do that for you as well. Let me give you that time back with your kids. Let me give you back that time to build connection with them. And I can do that because I'm an expert. I've done it for 100 years and I've got the best equipment, blah, blah, blah. So you position that empathy with that authority. And by this stage, the person's just like, hey, yes, absolutely. I don't want to mow my lawn when I get home from work. I do want to spend time with my family. Take my money. Rather than just like, hey, for $50 I'll mow your lawn. And you're like, it seems a bit expensive. You know what I mean? Okay, so after that, after you've developed that empathy and authority together, you need to give them a plan. And the plan needs to be really simple and really easy for them to understand. Step 1, fill out this form that tells us your address and, what day of the week you want your lawn mowed. 2, insert your credit card details. 3, we turn up and mow your lawn. 1, 2, 3, as simple as that. If you can do that, and if you can make it really simple and direct, go to this link, click here and get started, call this number, then customers are not going to get lost as part of that process. They're going to say, oh, okay, yep, you understand me, you get me, here's my money. And you need to make it that simple. That transitional part from, someone who's not quite your customer to somebody who is your customer needs to be clean and simple. It cannot be go to our Instagram page and scroll down 9 squares and click on that one that has me with the lawnmower, and then that'll take you to our link in bio. And then if you click on that, that'll take you to the website. Once you get to the website, go to the menu, scroll down. Like, no, they're gone. They're lost. So please don't be doing that. The last part is that you want to paint the successful result. You want to be able to say, hey, if I'm mowing your lawn for you, here's a picture of you by the pool with a drink in your hand and the kids are splashing and you're having a wonderful time. Here's you hugging your wife in the kitchen because you've got, a beautiful relationship and the lawn looks great and everybody, you look like the picture perfect family. They're the results that people are going to pay money for. You then want to paint the picture of what it could look like if they don't buy from you, the image of the guy pushing the lawnmower out the front, sweating, and the petrol, like the lawnmower breaking down or running out of petrol or something hideous like that. And then you want to be able to paint the you want to be able to identify the transformation and paint the picture of, hey, you are here, but you could be here, and I'm the person to help you get there. If that makes sense to you, then I encourage you to pause the video and complete the brand script according to either a product or service that you have or your business in general. And then I encourage you to bring that to our next accountability session so that we can walk through it with you and give you any bonus ideas in order to be able to put this out into the marketplace. And finally, I just want to finish off with a little bit of thought around internal and external marketing. A lot of the time we think about just our external marketing. We don't necessarily give a lot of thought to our internal marketing. We're busy out there doing external marketing, attracting new customers, bringing new people in, wanting to acquire new customers to come into our community. When in fact, if we spent some time working on our internal marketing, then that's going to be so much more cost effective for us, because it's so much cheaper to be able to nurture the customers that we already have, to be able to spend time taking them along our customer journey than it is to acquire brand new customers. So I want you to think about what external and what internal marketing you're currently doing or you think you need to be doing, and to make a list of each of the activities that you've got going on in your business currently or that you'd like to get going on in your business. And the reason I think this is important, and this is one of our Thrive alumni, Lucy from Lucy Humphreys Photography, she was always thinking a lot about her external marketing. She was thinking about ways in which she could get new customers, usually wedding customers, brides, to be able to buy her photography packages. When actually, once somebody came and had their wedding photos and were really pleased with the result, instead of just saying, okay, well, then you're married, very good, bye-bye, that's that. Being able to nurture those customers and being able to touch base with those customers, a year later for their anniversary and perhaps for a maternity shoot once they get pregnant, and then a fresh start shoot when the baby is born, and then, a first birthday photo. Like, there are lots of opportunities to be able to touch base with those customers and to get them to come back and purchase a different service from you. And so once Lucy could get in touch with all of those different scenarios and get in touch with her customers in order to entice them to be able to keep coming back to her, it was much easier for her to increase her revenue without having to work on new marketing to go out to her external market. So I want you to think about what that could do for you. What happens in your customer journey once people come in? What are you doing to nurture them into customers that you can retain for the life of the customer journey? That's something that we often don't give a lot of thought to. So I encourage you to pause the video now and make a list of the internal and external marketing that you either are doing now or need to be doing more of in the future. And we're going to finish today's session by thinking about the biggest learning from this unit of work. What is it that's been your aha moment? Perhaps there was something, in terms of the transformation. Perhaps there was something when it came to developing your customer target market. Perhaps you kind of had an aha when we were talking about each of the stages of the problems, the external, internal, philosophical. What was your biggest aha and biggest learning from the unit? What are going to be the first things that you're going to implement? Perhaps you need to put in place some strategies or processes when it comes to internal marketing in your business. Or perhaps there are, things that you need to go back and have a look at in terms of what's already out there in the marketplace and tweak. And then I want you to think about those actions or goal steps that you're going to take and make sure that they go on your to-do list with a deadline so that you can make sure you get them done. I encourage you to get your takeaway form done and get all of that on your to-do list. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.